Hi, and welcome to Learning Broodwar. My name is Julian, and I'm doing one of the hardest things. I'm trying to learn Broodwar. Currently, I'm at about 1550 mmR on the ladder, which means that I obviously struggle a lot. If you're learning Broodwar too, or want to help me out, please stick around. And if you just want to amuse yourself about me face planting each and every time, please do also stick around. I played some other RTS before, so I think my hands are kind of fast and I can do things quickly, but I need to learn the decision trees and so on in Broodwar. Today we are looking at my PvZ. It's the first time that we actually look into this matchup. It's funny because I feel like this is the matchup I understand the least about, but perform the best. If I look at my stats, I'm at like 75% in PvZ and much better than in the other matchups. So I'm kind of confused because I don't really know what to do. I open with Gateway first. In PvZ you typically have, you can choose between starting Gateway first or Forge first. As far as I've understood is you place the Gateway to the right and the Forge to the left, because this makes a tight wall here and the Gateway makes a tight wall to the left. I think not on this map, but on most other maps it works this way. But I open Gateway. I feel like I'm more in control if I do so, but sometimes I kind of face plant by playing Gateway first. I think Forge first has the easier decisions that follow compared to Gateway first. But with Gateway first, you're much more dictating how the game goes. So here I scout. He's going pool first. It's overpool. It's kind of a good build to block the salads, the early salads from Gateway first actually. I'm trying to block the hatch. I'm doing kind of an okay job, but I mean that's not on my level, not the most important thing. I always try to annoy my opponent with a probe. And now I rally the salad, I queue a second salad. I build this pylon early and I always queue probes, trying not to stop any probe production and queuing zealots. Most of the time I'm building 3 and then stopping. Okay, so I'm moving towards my opponent with the first zealot. I try to avoid vision. I noticed that he was getting 6 links, so I'm moving my zealot back. So the idea that I have is here, I block the ramp with zealot probe to avoid a run by the links and keep 1 zealot or 2 zealots now at the front. But what I messed up is I need a second probe because otherwise I can't build my forge here. So I slide it through by clicking on the minerals and place it here. I'm doing not the best job in moving my zealots and blocking. I didn't build an additional zealot as well. That would have been maybe a nice idea, but I'm supply stuck, which is not very good. That might be a problem as well. I have to think about the third pylon maybe. Now I can add the cannon. He's doing a good job annoying me. It's getting a second base, a third hatch on the base. I'm still rotating around with the probe, trying to find out what he's doing. I think I missed this and react much too late, losing the zealot almost for free. Now I only have a single zealot. Yeah, it's the problem that I didn't build an additional zealot. Would have helped a lot. Okay. With 5 HP. That was kind of lucky. Okay, I'm still scouting around. He actually built 4 hatches, which is kind of weird. I think it's not like a standard thing that pros do, but still, I mean, you get a lot of larvae, you don't have to worry about defending. I'm adding a second cannon as I lost this one. I did not show my tech. I try to get the core early, and I probably should get the second gas way more quickly than I do. That's something that I struggle a lot with in this matchup, is getting the build order straight while dealing with the stress of holding the front. Citadel of Adun and Stargate. So I'm playing kinda standard. Trying to get a Stargate, getting out a Corsair to scout and to maybe kill an Overlord. Then I add the Adun. I think the second gateway is correct. I'm not 100% sure. And by not getting my gas early, my +1 ground weapons upgrade is very late. That's something that I try to fit in right now at this point, because you want to get +1 ground weapons upgrade and zealot speed, and then you can move out with a bunch of zealots, which I'm not producing currently. But I mean, I don't have money for everything. I don't know if pros have money for constant zealot production. I should check the pro replay next and like see what they are doing in PvZ, even though it's not my worst matchup. I feel like it's the matchup I have the least idea on how to play. I'm using this Corsair to kill the Overlord. I mean, it's always a hard choice. Do I scout right away or kill an Overlord? But this time I even got the additional damage from the cannon. Running over, scouting. Still on 2 bases, but ahead in workers, which is insane. But it seems to work if you only produce. And I didn't walk out with any zealots, which is also a problem with not producing another zealot. I would have probably had some window of opportunity of pressuring a little bit. I'm pressuring with the Corsair, but here's Hydra's kind of defending on the Spore here. But I'm super confused, checking all the time. Don't you have a third? Don't you have a third? I'm afraid adding a third cannon, because I'm very far from having Storm. And I think I even forget I'm already building High Templars, but not upgrading Storm. Uh-oh. And getting +1 only now, so they don't have +1. So +1 is relatively late. So I don't have this strong move-out timing, but I'm not producing zealots anyway, so... Now I'm adding a couple more gateways, which is kind of correct, I guess. But I'm not having a clear plan. Now add 4 gateways, now add 5 gateways. I'm just going with the flow. How much money do I have? Do I add gateways? It's maybe something I could optimize a bit, but let's see. I don't know if this is my biggest worry at the moment. My opponent is only now taking a third base, has built some Hydras, so he's getting away with a lot here, getting his upgrades, getting +1/+1, all on 2 bases, and has like a million billion drones. Only getting the mineral only expansion. Now adding a Spire, very late Spire. And I really missed this at first, but now I have it. I'm changing to Dragoon production. These zealots never really moved out, but I felt like there's no opportunity if there's no third base. Now I'm spotting the third base. Yeah, I could have been more active with those. That was actually a mistake. I should have built more zealots. Like I already stated, get +1 sooner, and then I could have probably delayed, or at least be a nuisance with respect to the third base, which might have helped a little bit. But right now there's not a lot going on. Besides that, he's adding hatcheries, adding a Spire. I'm building Dragoons. I added a second forge, which is good. I oftentimes forget upgrading. I added sufficient gateways. I feel like as a lower level player, it's always a good idea to add more production than is the optimum, because if you miss a cycle, you can catch up. I think that's a good idea for most people who are not like super duper top tier and need to optimize every cost for building, because one building is like the cost of a single unit. So I don't find it too bad. Now I'm getting a third base. as I have some bulk on the map, I'm trying to get a third base. So maybe I could also optimize towards having more bulk of units sooner to be able to expand more quickly. I don't know if I'm strong enough to pressure here. I feel like I might pressure a little bit more. But now he's coming to me, which is, on this map, this position is just so insanely strong versus Zerg. We have this small choke, which is absolute hell for Zerg, pushing up against Storm. I think I might increase the speed now because there's not too much happening. He is preparing to take a fourth. Because as Zerg, the rule of thumb is you should try to stay ahead one base, but he's very high in workers, which is very good because I'm pretty much doing nothing. I'm super passive. That's maybe something I really need to work on. I could move the Zealots all the time now, could deny this, force him to move his units, move back, because they are faster than pretty much anything that Zerg can field. So you can treat them like vultures in TVP, run around. Oh, but I even do it. I even manage to deny. So that's a good thing. I deny the base and run away immediately. Not overstaying my welcome. That's actually a big win while I take my fourth. So right here I would say the only problem that I have is that he's very, very, very high on workers. And he should be very low on army, and I'm not in any way exploiting this fact. So I'm not poking enough, I guess. So maybe I should roam more with my army at this point of the game. Because against Zerg, you can mostly run away if you're careful. So that's like something that I should really remember for next time. Roam more. Roam, attack Storm, annoy him a little bit to not get this far ahead. Because so many workers for Zerg, it's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. And I'm at 184. Not doing too much. At least I'm getting observers and so on to be able to deal with the properly deal with the lurkers, which is pretty late, I guess. At 15 minutes, I'm 2-1. He has 2 armor already, but at least I'm upgrading from both my upgrading structures. I'm having a million billion over resources, so does he. I guess we both macro a lot, but don't do too much with the macro. He's running in with many Zerglings, while I'm trying to get my 5th already. That's nice. So I'm still ahead in bases, but I guess I'm not really ahead in macro. Yeah, I don't have Templars or Archons or anything to deal with the onslaught in Lings. And he has quite good upgrades, and Lings become really strong. Is he on Hive? Does he have Adrenal yet? I guess so. He's running in here, killing a lot of Dragoons again. But still, I think these trades are still alright. But I should have roamed sooner, and I should now start to keep my army more together, even though I should leave a Templar here or something. I think I already let the game get out of hand, because I don't know really what to do at this point, what I could do better. I mean, I could immediately max out. I'm like having so many resources, and I'm not producing from all of my structures, so that's a mistake. Here I'm trying to push in now a little bit, do what I said before, but he's already ultras. And with fighting ultras, I'm not 100% certain on how to approach this. I think you need to add Reavers. That's something that I think I will be doing, but besides that I have no idea. It's something that pros never do, or almost never do in PvZ, so there seems to be a reason on how to hard counter this, but on my level I find them kind of strong, because they're good against gateway units. I mean, Harkons I think are alright, and Reavers are really good against them. But Reavers are hard to move around. So maybe the thing is that pro players are very good with shuttles. And as a beginner player, you're not quite as good with shuttles. So here I'm moving up the Archon army. While pressuring here at the same time. And I'm not managing both armies properly. So I'm losing the Archons for free, so that's probably a problem. Even though I'm getting the base here. I don't know. I really don't know too well what I'm doing, what I could improve. I'm getting the next base, but I think I let it get out of hand way too soon. And this kind of late game is really hard. So maybe the right call is to now give up on pushing here. Building shuttles, maybe that's the right call. Building shuttles, doing storm drops. Trying to overwhelm them this way and like expanding a lot and defending the expansions. Adding Reavers. I think that's the plan for next hardcore late game. Just stop trying to engage. I mean, that's nice that I'm like stopping him from expanding too much, but that's alright. But besides that, yeah, I think the plan for next game is do things like this, but maybe even more. Get High Templars here, get Reavers, defend everything, have some moving army that I use in defense, and do a lot of storm drops. I mean, I'm losing the space, which is not good. I'm falling behind on supply, again, having a billion funds. I'm not producing sufficiently, which is something that can always be improved, of course. Trying to keep your money low, keep your production high, but you have so many things to do at this point. Doesn't look too bad, but having a Zerg that's maxed out is like, oh, such a hard call to defend against. I don't know if, like, struggling more, fighting harder could have saved this game, but I'm losing another base. I'm trying to get this one back. I'm trying to get this base. Because at a certain point he's mined out at some of his bases. So he's on 4 active, and I'm on 3 active bases. I'm defending successfully. Up until now. I mean, the interesting thing is the Ultra army is relatively easy to move around as a beginner. You put them on a hotkey and move them somewhere. They are fast, they are easy to maneuver. You can make click and forget. So while I'm cleaning up this one, he's already attacking the next base. And I don't have Storm here. Because against Lings and so on, it's better to also have Storm. I mean, I even deny this space, I think, but... yeah, right now it doesn't look too bad. What? Why do I tap out here? I think it's not over yet. I think I tap out pretty soon. Or does it only look like this? The replay progress bugged. Well, yeah, he's moving another army to the top. Now he's ahead again. Yeah. Yeah, okay, now it's clear the way I tap out. I'm done here. Yeah, I think the big takeaways are pressure more in the early part of the mid game and make better turtling play in the latter parts of the game and keep more bases and have the Zerg bleed into you in the later parts. If you have any more suggestions what I could improve on, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.